about the parallel development of the digital computations, graphics, and also the hand drawings. So I think I was mentioned that this is the place, the buildings in the Seattle is actually one of the buildings for the design studio for architecture students. So what's happening is like we will have, by now, I think we already covered the conceptual drawings of the multi-view drawings and line drawings, and how we develop those line drawings like three-dimensionally with analytical process, right? So this is how we're doing so far. So first you actually start the space. Maybe you look at the facade, you look at the plan, you kind of simplify the geometries. Once you understand that, you might reconstruct these things totally from the zero. So you may lay out the facade and lay out the plan and build up the whole building like that. So that is what you know about buildings. If you wanted to draw something you see, and then you will do the perspective, and then you apply the tonal balance like we did it in the diagram, right? So all of those things is actually trying to describe that. The idea about the two major drawing systems, the parallel projections and the perspective projections. And these is the things called a diagram, okay? For example, this drawing is actually trying to describe how the lighting was coming from the gap of the roof. So this actually will be response to the geometry over here. So, but if you use a diagram here, this diagram actually explains very clear about the idea how the daylight will come from the outside, bouncing to this panel here, and then reflect to the interior space. So these real drawing here called a diagram. So there's one time some people asked my teacher, like Francine, said she asked me like what is about diagram. Then Frank was answer her says that if you use the line drawings, you are drawing the conceptual understanding, right? If you do the perspective, it's your perceptual field. When you're using a diagram, you try to draw the relationships. It's the effect of A and the B. So you're trying to use diagram to draw the relationships. This diagram here, right, is actually telling you the relationship about the form factor of the roof and how this roof, the relationship is like how the sunlight and the form factor of the roof result in the illumination of the inside. So that is the relationships these drawings try to describe. Okay. So therefore, I think that this quote is pretty nice. That when you're doing the diagram, you should think about it. Can these little drawings explain something? Explain some kind of relationships. If it can, which means it's a successful diagram, it helps people understand something is difficult just using the one sketch about it. Okay? These areas are downtown Seattle. So the question mark is over here. And then if you see, it's may not very clear. So this is the hill side. And then we go to the water side. Okay? So Piper's Market, it is the kind of the place when the fishermen come here, so they have all different kind of the like seafood, and then people will go there to buy the seafood. Okay, so it become a tourist attractions. So the most famous is like there's an old building, it's like a big, huge complex along this side. So there's different shops. It's had been there maybe so many years. I didn't know. I didn't check the history, but at least more than 50 years, even like 70 or 80 years. And then they actually have pretty famous things like if you buy the fish, they will actually just throw over the streets. And then people go there just want to experience that kind of feeling. This is actually another attraction called Paul's Alley from here to here. The things that you're just looking in the videos is right over here. Okay? And then the water is over there. This is actually one end of the Paul's Alley, and then here is the other end of the Paul's Alley. Okay? So now, when we get an idea, so when standing here, you can see post-alley shops over here, and that is actually kind of just normal shops. You go from here. Okay. So you see the people here, and then you can go, keep going, and then keep going, and then keep going, and then keep going, and keep going, keep going. You can see all of this. Okay. So now the question comes. So if you want to describe the post-alley, the first thing that you probably will say, there's a lot of things going on in the post-alley in comparison to the pedestrian here, sidewalk here. So you might notice that there's a lot of activities happening. So there's a lot of place to sit. So maybe this diagram in here I will try to do is try to talk about it, how things was actually become a post-alley. It is better to have a different thing to be compared. So the differences they can understand why it is that. So this is actually the sequential diagram, and I try to backing up the idea about here. So you can see that. So the reason they can have a post-alley is because this building is shaped like a triangle. Okay, and then also once it becomes a triangle, something was actually extruded out and something was recessed. Will not, people can still walk, so people can stay in there, stop there without blocking the circulations. Does that make sense? I think, right? So you can go right through that, no place you can stop, right? Because people keep going, keep going. If you have this kind of the circulation become a zigzag, like it doesn't go straight line, automatically you can see if I standing here, if I standing here, if I standing here, I can standing there without blocking the circulation. So then I can say it creates an opportunity for people to stop, and therefore they create an opportunity for the like the live music and all the shops, all the like the restaurant, all the outside dining. Not only when you have this angle, right? Because that area is actually has a pretty steep, like a terrain change. So you will realize that at the beginning, in the end, just this kind of different width up here, it creates a level change, almost half story high. Okay. So now this diagram about the sections tells this idea. So also describe this whole context. So Hyderabad market, the street, and the post-alley, and the shops, and then another shops. However, the label has been changed like that. Okay, so I use a plain diagram over there to describe how the things was changed, how the geometry can create an opportunity to stop, and then use the section diagram to describe the label changes. Okay, then once you have this one, sometimes perspective is also pretty nice to use it. Because you can see, if I'm walking from this side, right, you're actually walking upward. It's sloping up. So shops, post-alley, sidewalk, market, and here is for the traffic, right? And then, this is parallel joints. The parallel joints sometimes can be more easy to understand. So you can also see that this parallel joints here is actually try to talk about both these talk about it and also this one talk about it, the things they talk about it, right? So the form of the buildings and then creating the different kind of the path. And then also you slow down the path over here. So year after year, this little tiny back alley become a lot of different activity happening there. Before you do diagram, you need to find something to diagram. Does that make sense? And sometimes that's something you may not be able to notice at the first time. You have to keep coming back, and then you might feel something, and that was actually diagram. Okay, that's why I'm saying that if you know the diagramming, it's just help you to notice that something was there intangible, but all those intangible things could help you in the long run if something really happens, really interesting. And sometimes it can become this idea, sometimes it can become research topics. Okay, so this is really just like one of the examples of the diagram. So it helps me in the end. That's why I would like to use this as my final images for these diagram slides. Okay. The Chinese government moved to here. This become a place for those refugees come here. And then they will actually start to build illegal housing here and they grow up like this way. Until they start to thinking like there's a lot of issues about the safety, the building codes, and then they start trying to make this plan of this place. So you can see there's a lot of things coming into here. So they have the media school here, they have, like I said, they have a residence artist right here. So they also have a lot of hostel, like a hotel, not a real hotel, for the people like you guys, you know. So you can look at there are a couple of things I put you like it. Maybe your friends are coming to visit you. You can consider this area for that. Okay. They was building along the hill, right? So they are facing the way where they're facing to. Sometimes it depends upon the terrain. Okay, so that was kind of the idea. You can see none of this housing was facing in one direction. So if you're just looking at the plan, the vertical facade, it actually tells you the shape of this hill. Okay, the Churchill Hills, they are facing, you know, like different way like this. That's because I think that's because the terrain, you know, where the land was sitting is actually not rectangular. In this time, right, I would say I like to draw something like this tiny little point here. So see, this could be the diagramming of the idea, the significant, you know, concept about this perspective. It's more about trying to describe like how this facade has been changed, how the context of here like that. There's a lot of things is there, but you have to kind of do the analyze that, and then you start to be able to see something. And then the diagram will help you to document those analysis. Does that make sense now? Okay. So I'm not going to do too much demo today, and I don't feel I want to get you back together. You can actually to explore that. But before we set you free, I'd like to take you to a couple of places first, and I will dismiss.